Hi, and welcome to part 2 of the playground tour. In part 1, I showed you a bit about how I used the tile board and a way I created an activity to practice syllable division. So we're going to go ahead and continue our tour. And again, we are in a playground that was created by Leanne Klingenberg of Cedar Valley Dyslexia Services. So if you want to know more about that, there's a link below, and there's also a link for Koala Go if you're interested in learning more, because that's where this playground would be used. Okay, so just going around the corner here, and Leanne had put up these levels and rules in the program that both of us use for tutoring. And I created the sticky notes with the rules and names, and as we go through them, the student can sort them and put them on these charts. And so when it's time for a new rule to be put down, you just move that, and the student would bring down the rule and the definition of that rule. So that's a good place to do some review. You can also do some spelling on the board. If you create a sticky note, so we'll go ahead and do that. So I put that in the middle and keep it blank for now, but make it bigger so you can type words, phrases, or sentences on it. And that's a great way to do your practice in a different environment, for a lot of just giving you some flexibility and keeping things really interesting, which is one of the great things about the playground that I really appreciate. Okay, so I'm going in through a secret shortcut she had to another room, and I've brought up posted some student activity pages from the program I use. So what I would do, of course these are from my program, and you would need to have the same program, Barton reading and spelling, if you wanted to do these particular sheets, but you would likely have your own activity sheets, and so you can upload them into a file here. And once you upload them, if you go to the image library, I've categorized them by level and lesson. So we're on level 4, lesson 12, so I put in 4.12, and then you see all the things pertaining to that lesson that I've uploaded earlier, which by clicking on this and uploading from my computer are here. So I can just click on it and put it in the playground, and then resize it by hitting the plus key, and you can lock it in place to make it a little more stable or not have to worry about accidentally moving it. But that's how I upload those. So you can read words here, and a lot of times I'll also read them in the browser using another program that I use, Wizmo, but I like having the option of doing one or the other. And then these are some phrases that we'll read, and again I'm just going to lock in place. And originally these phrases were all on sticky notes, and then you could move the sticky notes to make these sentences, but I got behind on doing that all the time, so I made a slightly different option by putting up the page, and the student would read the phrases, and then I would have them create the sentences by using these different color sticky notes to select a phrase from each part and put it together to create a sentence. And they would go ahead and create 4 sentences using these sticky notes. So that's worked very well for me, and I don't get behind doing it, even though the other way that it was originally set up was excellent. All right, so that's a place that you can work on your phrases. So let's go ahead and go out and see where I might have some other activities. And I have some things that students really like on their way to an activity, maybe a little thing that they can try and do. I'm terrible at those. I fall off all the time, but they are really good and they enjoy it. And here's another thing we can do. You can incorporate this as part of your teaching. This is one of the sports things, the cornhole, and I'm actually a little bit better at this than some things, so let's see if I get it. All right, so yeah, I think that's my best sport. Okay, so here's another example of something I do. This board here I use for spelling, and I have the rules sort of organized in 3 baskets here on the wall, and put up the ones that we have so far, and then have used this to spell words, phrases, or sentences, so it's a nice way to do it. Okay, and then I think is a little reading nook I have up in the tree house. So I'll take you there. And so I've put up a couple stories here. And again, the easiest way to do these and to see them well is to lock them in place. And then you can zoom in as close as you need to and move it up and down. Hold down the right mouse key. You can also move things that way. So then we can read our stories here if we don't want to read them on the shared browser or whiteboard. So I hope that gives you some more tips on ways that you can use your playground if you use Koala Go and incorporate it in the lesson. Not only use it for maybe a brain break or free time, but make it part of the learning and add that to your the different things that you can do with your student that really make your lessons more interesting and engaging for them.